Today, I wanted to talk about anger, because a lot of Christians wonder whether or not anger is a sin. The answer to that question is no. Anger is not a sin, but it can become one very quickly. Ephesians 4:26 says, "Be angry and do not sin." Think about that. The Bible never says, "Never be angry." It says, "Be angry and do not sin." That means there is a kind of anger that is righteous, and there is a kind of anger that is sinful. The question isn't whether you're angry. The question is why you're angry. In Mark 11:15-17, when Jesus entered the temple and saw the people turning God's house into a marketplace, he became angry. Why? Because God's name was being dishonored. His anger wasn't rooted in selfishness, it was rooted in holiness. But here's where a lot of people get it wrong. They say, "Oh, I'm just righteously angry." Meanwhile, they're yelling at people, they're holding grudges, they're talking behind people's backs, refusing to forgive. That's not righteous anger. James 1:20 says, "The anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God." Just because you're angry doesn't mean you're right, and just because you feel strongly about something doesn't mean God agrees with it. So there's worldly anger and there's godly anger, right? Worldly anger wants revenge, but godly anger wants restoration. Worldly anger is focused on being right, but godly anger is focused on what is right. Worldly anger says, "I want them to pay," but godly anger says, "I want God to be honored." Most of the anger we call righteous is actually wounded pride. We got offended, we got embarrassed, we didn't get our way, and instead of bringing it to God, we let it control us. But Proverbs 29:11 says, "A fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back." Being controlled by anger isn't strength, it's weakness. Real strength is having the power to lash out and choosing not to. Real strength is bringing your emotions under the authority of Christ. So what is the difference between righteous anger and worldly anger? See, righteous anger hates sin because it offends God, but worldly anger hates people because they offended us. One points people toward truth, the other pushes people away from it. So next time you're angry, don't just ask, "Am I angry?" Ask, "Is this anger about God's glory or is it about my pride?"